What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rags to Riches. In the last episode, of course, it was spring cleaning. We were selling a lot of our players, and in the video today, we will still sort of be selling off some players, but thinking about buying some more players, and of course really trying to improve our strategy and also look at potentially some new competitions that we could go ahead and build some lineups in. If you guys are enjoying the content, please show me by leaving a like, subscribe if you're new. Let's get into Rags to Riches for the week. We managed to sell one of our best purchases on Rags to Riches, Michael Skoras, and when we bought him, of course, we did pay. What did we pay? £8, and we managed to sell him for £15.70. I'll be honest with you guys, I probably could have held out for a bit more money because he is scoring just that good. However, I'm just happy to take double the profit, to be honest, here on Rags to Riches, and especially in a time where we need more money to build these squads, especially for this video here today. So yeah, we do note down that we sell Skoras for £15.40. Like I said, probably could have got more money, but I'm not too bothered. I'm just happy to take the profit where we can in this series. And we do actually have a couple of card reveals to do. Although I am trying to sell some of these players, I might as well try and reveal them and see if they are special cards. And the first one is Aspilicueta, who we... Oh my god, special card straight away, first one. Happy days. Wow. I really like this card design as well, actually. Very nice, very nice. Um, I mean, hopefully that adds a bit more value to him. We might not even sell him, to be fair. Like I said, in the video today, we've sort of got we've got to work out where we're going in the future here, squad-wise, and what players we want to get rid of and all that good stuff. So we are still in that phase of selling and buying and all that good stuff. Lots of business happening. Hatter is not a special, and I think this is our last one to reveal. The man from Eredivisie, and it is not special. There we go. So we only get one extra special. I can't really complain because we've had a lot of specials in this series. And yeah, now we need to sort of, I guess, work out what we need for these squads, what players we want to bring in, and what lineups we want to use ahead of the game week. A couple of days have passed here on Rags to Riches, and I've been eyeing up my squads and really trying to refine which players I'm happy to keep and which players we're happy to sell. Of course, in the last clip you saw me sell quite a lot of players, and we have sold a couple more, and we have bought a new player, and I think now we're in a phase where I'm sort of settled down, of course, in terms of like players that I want to bring in, and the players that I have up for sale, I'm happy to let them sell, and it leaves us in a good spot now where I kind of know where I want to go. So I'm going to update you guys on the teams, and of course, almost certainly these teams are going to change, but just as a rough guide as to what they might look like each week. So this is our La Liga outfit. Of course, we are hyper focused on the main team, and then the leftovers are forming a second team. And outside of this, there isn't that much else happening in La Liga. Of course, Christensen is not part of this series. Edu is up for sale, Rabba is up for sale, Rosier is up for sale, Malero up for sale, Santamir. So pretty much these two squads that you see on screen here are all of our La Liga players after everything has sold, which I'm happy with. I'm okay with that. Of course, we'll just be using players from this squad to replace any players in this one should they not play, essentially. And moving on to our JPL outfits, and that's sort of the theme throughout the squads here. We have a main team, as you can see here, and then the second team will be used as sort of like they could do something. They might play, they might be on the bench, but they will rotate into the main team should we need to replace anyone. So, yeah, that is sort of the idea going forwards that I like to do. What I think I'm going to try and attack in all competitions. Now, with that being said, we still have some room for improvement or development. As you can see here, we only have one Eredivisie team here, and that is because we just don't have another goalkeeper as of recording. I might again make this similar to well, like I just showed you, where we have two teams. One team will be the main team, and the second team will be used as backup. But you can see here, essentially, we've still got some stuff to sell in the 4 players here. But outside of this team that you can see here, there isn't much in terms of backups. The only backup we do have, I believe, is Mr. Rotz. There we go. So Mats Rotz is like the guy that we rotate. Of course, leaves us a bit thin. But to be honest, Eredivisie's not been doing the best for us. So I'm happy for it to just be one squad for the time being. And then having a little look into Challenger, again, same theme where we've got 2 squads, one we care about a bit more. And you will see we have a new addition to the gallery, Mr. Atgun. We did really need a forward in season, so it was about time that we got one here in Challenger, and I feel like that was earned because we did hit the streak, of course, in Challenger. So now we have a very strong Challenger outfit, and then some decent backups in the second team. So yeah, Challenger looking very strong, and I'm very happy with how it's going there. And I will show you the prices that we paid for Atgun shortly. Contender, kind of the opposite in the sense that, yeah, there's not much going on. It's probably our least our least strong team at the moment. Of course, Sinisterra not even really playing. And outside of the team that you see here on Contender, we've just got a lot to sell, and none of it. Yeah, it's not clicking at the minute for whatever reason in Contender, and that's completely fine. It's going to happen, especially when we're in so many different competitions. We're bound to, one or two of them not be completely satisfied with. So Contender and Eredivisie, we're not, we're still waiting for that to click. And then outside of that, of course, we have fielded 2 all-star teams. Again, like I said, this isn't like my nailed lineups or anything. It's just me. It's the best way I can show you guys my thought process, if that makes sense. So when I'm building these squads, if I show you guys it in lineups, you will be able to visualize what I am visualizing, if that makes sense. So yeah, these 2 you can see either these players are injured or not, just pretty much just not favorable for whatever reason. Now, that doesn't mean that I won't use them. It's just these are cards that I don't want to sell, and I don't want to use right now, if that makes sense. So yeah, and essentially everything that you haven't seen is either up for sale or has sold. So we'll move back onto the spreadsheet here, and you can see Vogt, Lo Celso, and Duro have all sold. And we did buy Atgun, as I stated there, for £7 and 14 pence. So yeah, I will say I bought Atgun with credits, so I probably could have got him cheaper, but I just, yeah, I had credits. But of course, I haven't applied that for this series because we didn't earn the credits through the series, so I'd put his value, or what we paid. If you get what I mean, you get what I mean. So yeah, how we're looking then is we have about £77 now, and I think that we are in a prime position to potentially think about entering a new competition. I'm yet to really decide which one to go for. So pretty much all in all, Eredivisie could maybe do a bit of work, Contender maybe a bit of work, and we need to find a new competition. During the month of October, I'll be giving away £10 to a lucky subscriber, and if you're a member, I'll be doubling it. All you need to do to enter is click subscribe down below. Yes guys, I'm back with a massive update here on Rags to Riches. In the last clip, of course, you guys saw me not too happy with my contender squads and eyeing up a new competition. And I'm going to start off this segment by saying we have managed to get rid of quite a few players here. You can see just above my camera all of the names that have left the gallery now, and don't get me wrong, they were absolutely fantastic whilst we had them in the series, and they served us very well. Notably, Sabiri, Bruelm, Exposito the short time we had him, and yeah, Conte as well, 100 bomb just before he left the gallery, of course. Some great players that we have traded out. However, you can see that we have, of course, traded a lot, and our balance is now flat on 0. We were obviously, I think we had like I can't remember how much money we had, but without any further ado, I'm too excited. I need to show you guys what I have done to improve the sides and what I have done in the series in general. And I will say I'm very excited for this one, guys, because I feel like I've done a good job. Starting things off in Contender then, and I told you guys wasn't that happy with where we were at in Contender, and I feel like the changes were quite minimal that I needed to do to be satisfied in this competition. And what we went ahead and did is pick up a new forward. We a much needed forward, I will say, because yeah, we've just been dying for an in-season starting forward for a little while, seeing as Sinisterra is not getting much game time. So we went out and picked up Baris Atik, a very good Bundesliga 2 forward. Although Magdeburg have not started the season off well, I anticipate that they might do better, and we managed to pick them up for around about £6. Again, I'll show you guys all the prices at the end of this little segment here. So Atik makes me a bit more confident in our contender setup, and as I've been saying throughout this video, we will almost definitely change the lineups closer to the deadline, but just for the sake of you guys visualizing what I'm seeing, this is the change we have made to the first team essentially. Of course, we might shuffle around a little bit. But the second team now, so yeah, we managed to field a second team here, and that's what I kind of want to do with all the competitions. And what we done to do that is buy an in-season goalkeeper, and I decided to go ahead and buy the Hajduk Split goalkeeper. He was super cheap, and obviously they're a decent team in Croatia, so I was happy to pick him up. And then that allows us to field another contender team as we do pick up another midfielder here, Josip Misic, a midfielder from Dynamo Zagreb, of course, a great team as well in Croatia. So yeah, we pick up a few pieces in contender, and it allows us to have a team that looks something like this. And like I said, we will almost certainly change. These players around. But just for now, just so I can show you guys what I have bought and what I've done, this is what we've got in contender. And essentially, I really want to get every competition to the point where it's like we've got one really strong team and the second team is a good backup. And we essentially have that now in every competition except Eredivisie. And the new competition we are going into is the Bundesliga. Now, I have got one empty spot here because I was trying to fill out and work out what I wanted to go into the Bundesliga. And I'll be honest with you guys, I spent all of our budget, but I am very happy with the outcome of the players that we have got. And I have no doubt that some of these might be, perhaps bad purchases, but I am confident with the group of players I have, I can at least get somewhere in this competition. Now, starting off with the goalkeeper position, we pick up a classic Flecken, as you can see here, and an in-season Karl Hein. And the reason for that is because I kind of wanted to split the strategy. So, spoiler alert, we did manage to field. We do have two Bundesliga teams. And I wanted one of them to have a classic smasher outfield and one of them to have a classic good goalkeeper, if that makes sense. Now, Karl Hein, don't get me wrong, is still a good goalkeeper. However, Flecken at Leverkusen, obviously a much better team. So, yeah, all in all, though, we don't really, I haven't, again, yet to decide what is the best way to put these players together. However, I'm just going to put them in and we'll sort out the lineups closer to the deadline. And you can see here are the defenders we picked up for the Bundesliga. We picked up Marco Friedel, who looks to be the best Werder Bremen defender that I could see anyway, and he will go alongside Hein in whatever lineup we play them in. Then we have Bade as the one to pair with Flecken, and then Nathaniel Brown is just sort of like the additional guy that will be thrown in at the first team here or there, depending on matchups and things like that. So yeah, we'll put Bade in here for now. The midfielders, we have Romano Schmid, a fantastic midfielder for Werder Bremen, very, very good, and I knew if I was ever to go into the Bundesliga, he would be essential for my lineup because I think he's a great player. We also pick up Ritsu Duan, who did cost us quite a lot, to be honest. So, yeah, a hefty purchase. Antonio Nusa, who is a little bit more of a risk, I would say. Like, he's not exactly nailed or anything like that, but when he does play, he's going to obviously be playing for Leipzig, a great club in the Bundesliga, and then ignore Prass because he's not part of this series. But yeah, so we pick up three great midfielders. I'm very happy with all three of these, to be honest. But we are going to put Doen in for now. And then our two forwards, we have terrible at pronouncing names, but Jean Mateo Bahoya. Again, probably said that wrong, but he is going to be our risky one, shall we say? I think that he's not like nailed at Frankfurt. I just think he's a good player, and I'm hoping that he's going to be playing a bit more for them. And then Bakayoko, who is obviously our classic smasher in the other team, if that makes sense. So yeah, we're going to put Gene in here for now. And then in terms of the extra, again, this will almost certainly change, guys, when we have predictions and stuff like that. But for now, I'm just going to put Schmid in there and give Bahoya the armband like so. So that is our first team. I'm very confident, very happy with that team. Honestly, very happy I managed to fit this all in the budget. And then the second team is the leftover pieces. And again, like I said, we will more than likely end up changing these come to the deadline. However, as things stand, this is how our Bundesliga setup is looking. And like I said, guys, if you are following along with this series, I know a lot of you guys are budget managers as well, and you like to kind of follow the series or follow the strategy. Sometimes I will say a lot of these players were quite good budget pickups. The only ones I would say that are a little bit risky, if you guys are watching this and you're thinking about doing the same thing as me, is I would say the forward from Frankfurt here is a little bit risky, especially with his price. I'm just happy to take that risk personally. Aside from him, I'm happy with the first team. And then I would say in the second team, Nusa is probably a little bit risky. The rest of them should be okay. But yeah, there we have it, guys. There is our new competition, or our new adventure started here on the series. I'm very happy, very excited to be competing in the Bundesliga. I know it's going to be tough, but I feel like these squads have a chance to do something. And I'm hoping we can do a little bit better than maybe some of the competition we struggled in, like La Liga we definitely struggled in. Eredivisie was kind of hit and miss. Hopefully the Bundesliga can be more like the JPL for us, where we're just seen to just do so well. And I completely forgot to mention, guys, that Nusa did actually manage to pick up a double assist in the international break here for Rags to Riches, and that does earn us, not only does it earn us £2 or $2 in market credits, it also earns us 20 essence from the daily missions. And I will be updating the missions, as you can see here on the spreadsheet, ready to go. So I've added the 20 essence and also need to add $2 market credits. I've added the market credits, and also here is the price that we paid for the players that you guys have just seen in that little segment there. So Mythic was about £3.80, and then some of these players' prices were part of trades, if that makes sense. So Doen, for example, we paid £7.81 on top of some of the cards that we traded, as I spoke about at the start of the little segment there. And Friedel, £3.18, again, we traded him, but got a little bit, still had to pay a little bit of money on top. Bade, £7.81, Bahoya, and yeah, so on and so forth. So we did actually spend about £7 or £8, about £10, sorry, in contender, and then all the rest was from Bundesliga. Well, for Bundesliga, but it included a lot of trades. If you are new to Sorare and you want to support a small creator in myself, then I would really appreciate if you use my link in the description down below to sign up. And of course, you'll receive all the best referral / welcome bonuses using the link down below in the description. Thank you. So it is a little bit later on in the week here in Rags to Riches, and I was just building and editing some lineups, and Sorare have announced that there is now a rewards choice, and I was discussing this on the last video actually when I was redeeming hot streaks, and there was a little bit of discussion in the comment section about, what do you guys take? Do you take cash? Do you take essence? And of course I did state that I pretty much always take cash, and there was a few of you guys saying in the comments that you guys do take essence. However, having read this, so obviously for those of you guys that maybe missed this, they are starting to add essence to later on in the streak now, as opposed to just the first one, which kind of identifies. There's two things or two things I want to say about this. The first one is that it's nice that they're giving us, well, the more options for our rewards, the better. So that's good. I'd say this is a good update. And number two, though, this is like I guess the other side of it is my thoughts are if they're giving more options to take essence, in my mind that says, oh, maybe they are really wanting us to take essence as opposed to cash, which kind of makes me more tempted to just keep taking cash. I know we did have a little bit of discussion on this in the last episode, so I wanted to talk about it here with you guys today. So yeah, just something interesting to note. And another thing to note is that we do make another sale, and we sell Danny Rabber, who is part of our La Liga stack. We sell him for £1, and we actually pick up another player for about £1. You can see here Noster, who is a Aberdeen defender who pairs up nicely with Meatov. And again, we haven't even done the lineups for this video, of course. We're going to do that in a second. But the reason why I bought him is because I'm already looking ahead to game week 20, and I highly recommend this for you guys that are budget managers. It's always good to be ahead of the market, if that makes sense. So as far as you can plan ahead, I always recommend to do that. And the reason for that is I started to slowly plug in Rags to Riches team, or teams, as you can see here, and I noticed that we can build a European League squad if I just got no start in here, because I didn't have a defender. As you can see, they're all no games. So yeah, I was a bit. I'm ahead of myself, and again, I always sort of say this when I talk about lineups that aren't in the lineup building section of the video. I always say these lineups almost certainly are going to change, and I'm pretty sure these ones are actually going to be in the next video anyway. So this is, I'm way ahead of schedule here, trying to plan ahead. But yeah, as it goes, I'm still planning for this game week, and of course, you guys are going to see me building them lineups now. Okay, so I'm here to run you guys through the final squads for this game week, and I will say I did make a catastrophic mistake in this video here today, and it's always bound to happen when I am trying to do multiple series at once. And for those of you guys that follow the scary selections, you would have noticed my mistake pretty early. And in this video here, for some reason I put Karl Hein in my second Bundesliga stack, and he just wasn't for this series. He is for Scary Sorare Selections. For those of you guys that follow that series, you would have seen that he was in the squad. So I'm going to delete him from the spreadsheet, and I'm sorry that you saw me put him in previously in this video. And we did go ahead and pick up two new players that I haven't added or included yet, and I'll show you guys why. So of course the goalkeeper, who we are actually meant to have, I picked him up, and Budimir, because our in-season attackers have they're falling like flies, so we needed a bit more backup there for Budimir. And just an update on the wallet, we obviously have barely any money left in the series, and yeah, what does that mean for the game week then? So you can see here are the two, obviously, the two boys for the series, as you can see, Budimir and the goalkeeper there. And I'm going to run you guys through all of the lineups now. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because you guys would have seen it a lot throughout this series, or throughout this video, sorry. Anyway, and I don't anticipate much changing. I will say, as always, really, if anything does change between now and deadline, I tend to put it in the comment section of this video, so if there's if there is any changes, you guys can see, or of course alternatively you guys can search up my gallery. You can see it in the top right, Josh B. So there we go. Oh, something I completely forgot to mention as well is massive shout out to anybody that did join my duo link. Well, obviously you guys seeing this, it's I don't know how to explain it, but pretty much I tweeted out about the Bundesliga and Rags to Riches joining the Bundesliga, and of course this whole video is around us entering the new competition. But of course this promo came out, Bundesliga Duo, which is perfect timing for this series and this video. Of course, if you guys do want to join me, I think you can do 2 weeks. If you guys haven't done it already, I'm sure most of you already would have, then well, I'll put the link to this in the description if you want to join me. But if you guys are already doing it, then good luck to you. And I will say, massive thank you to everybody that, or all of these users that did join through my link, and that does mean we have, yeah, obviously a great opportunity to earn a lot of money in the Bundesliga this game week, and of course it's all rags to riches. So if we somehow do manage to get 380 points with our Bundesliga stacks, then obviously this is a good way for me and you guys to earn money back. Well, yeah, just as a thank you, I guess, to supporting the series. And also, I will say that is also why I double checked the lineups and realised I'd done them wrong, and it's lucky that I did change them, because of course that would have affected a lot of you guys if I don't do well in the Bundesliga. So hopefully we do well. But anyway, here is the La Liga outfits. Like I said, forward or attackers are slim pickings this game week, both of them on 70, and the other two attackers we have is Alphon, who's injured for God knows how long, and Javi Puedo has just been announced injured for 2 months. So yeah, really slim in the La Liga this week, and we've been doing not great in La Liga anyway, so yeah, hopefully they can do something, but I'm not optimistic. And then looking at our Bundesliga one, of course this is the one that we all care about this game week, and hopefully we do well. Of course, like I said, we've got the correct goalkeeper in here now. I don't think anything else has changed since you guys last saw it, so yeah, just the goalkeeper mistake that I made. And yeah, nothing really else to add. Hopefully we can get 380, although it's quite hard to do. So yeah, the only thing I wish I could do, which I can't do now, is I wish I could change the captain. Obviously, this man only being at 60 is not ideal. I wish I could give the armband to Schmid, but I can't change it now because the cap will mean that I lose the 4% on this squad. So yeah, it is what it is. Looking at the JPL, it's pretty much gold dust as usual. I don't have to touch the teams. I literally put these teams in like 2 weeks ago and don't have to change anything, which is great. Yeah, I'm just happy with these boys. You know, if they do good, they do good. If they do bad, it is what it is. You know, I mean, that type of vibe. So yeah, the only thing that might change with some of these squads is like armbands, but I don't see the players changing that much. So yeah, Eredivisie. Unfortunate that we only have one squad. To be honest, every other competition we have two. So I do want to make sure that we eventually perhaps get another Eredivisie side just to have two on the go. Obviously, the second team wouldn't be that good, but yeah, it's just always nice to have two. And then Challenger, I really don't think much has changed. Atgun does look like he's going to get a rest, but I have no doubt that he'll at least come off the bench, so I'm okay with that. And then yeah, I think Iredale's come in here since you guys might have last seen it. But all in all, not too much has changed, I don't think, for Challenger, but this is what we're going with regardless. So yeah, hopefully it does well. And then Contender, again, I don't think too much has changed since you guys would have last seen it. In terms of like the players might have been shuffled about a bit, but in terms of the personnel or the players that are playing, it's pretty much locked to be these guys. And then I will say something that has changed or something to note. I haven't bothered with all-star or under 23 this game week for Rags to Riches. Instead, what I've done is I've used the pieces from Rags to Riches with what I already have in my gallery to actually have some hope of getting something. So what I mean by that is under 23, you will see here that Matt Rotz, Binks, Dardai, Malero are all part of this series, but I've put Captain Anderson in this team just because I want to attempt to get at least something. Yeah, we'll wait and see how that does. And of course, if we do get anything, we will just take a percentage of it for this series. So yeah, in terms of full lineups, they're all the ones that we have. Again, sorry about the Bundesliga stuff, but it is what it is, and I know a lot of you guys anyway will be okay with it because you'll be partnering up with me and hopefully winning some money anyway. So it is what it is. So slight error from me, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with the rest of the squads. Like I said, just wish I could have two Eredivisie squads, but we need to wait until we win a comp or get some money from streaks, or maybe even do well in the Bundesliga this week. Let's see. Yes, guys, so that is all we have time for on Rags to Riches this week. A Bundesliga heavy theme going on in this video, of course, kind of fits with the times, because, of course, it is Bundesliga Duo Promo. So hopefully me and my duos can do well. Of course, if you didn't duo with me, fair enough. Hopefully you do well as well and win some money for yourself. Of course, come back next week to see if we do manage to let everybody down or we manage to get some money. We will see. If you guys have enjoyed the video here today, please do remember to like, subscribe if you're new. We'll catch you guys in a future video. Peace.